beautiful people, it's Rickita. I'm back with another video. In this video, you guys, I have an amazing woman. So we have Angela Thompson here, you guys. She is out in Ohio. So she actually helped in multiple areas. So tell us a little bit about yourself and where you help at.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I am so happy to be here, and I love your energy. I love everything you're about. So thank you for having me. But yes, my name is Angela Thompson. I'm owner of Monument Real Estate Services, which is a full service real estate brokerage and property management company, mainly based out of the Cleveland, Ohio area. We also have some agents in the Columbus and Charlotte markets, but mainly we are out of Cleveland.
Cleveland, Ohio. Okay, I love Cleveland. I hear a lot about Cleveland.
Great city.
So how long have you been in the business for?
Ooh, that's a long, okay. So total, a little over 11 years. I first got started right out of college, and I worked for a home builder for 4 years. And so this was back in the crazy days where you could just get a loan you could just walk in, I want a loan, they say, here you go. It was like 04 to 09. And yeah, and so that's where I got my start in real estate and fell in love with it. The market crashed. I got out for a little bit of time, came back in 2014 after having my daughter and realized I wanted something different in life than kind of the corporate job I was at. So I've been a licensed realtor since then.
Wow, you got experience.
Yes, I've been through. Yeah, I've seen it.
Do you still help with those builds?
Say that again.
Do you still help with those builds?
I do, yes. I actually just got a client under contract last month on new construction, and I should have one this weekend under contract. So,
and hopefully more, you guys. So if you listen to the bill, we got the connect now. You definitely got the connect. How long does it take for people to build out there? How long does it take for them to actually build the house up?
From start to finish, roughly 6 months. So
okay.
Yeah, so not too bad. People always ask, like, can you build in the wintertime and all of that, because Cleveland's cold and we get a lot of snow. But absolutely, yeah, year round. It's about 6 months.
And do you guys have any new builds that's already available, just in case they're like, I want to get in now?
Some communities do, some builders do, but most are selling out of phases before anything is even built. The one builder we're talking to now, they are about to release a phase. They're going to increase the price, $3,000 with every sale. The last year I had a buyer, we had to literally, they put names in a hat to draw for a specific lot that everybody wanted. Luckily, my buyer got it.
Right. Oh my gosh.
People are like, I've had so many people like, okay, the resale market is really crazy right now. We're getting priced out. Like, let me go to new construction. New construction is just as wild because it's the same thing. It's still supply and demand, and the builder have a lot of control over what they can do, but also the cost of lumber is really high. So prices are high. I mean, it's just, it's crazy, but we're still getting people in houses. So we're making it work.
And what's the best way for people if they want to buy a home now? What would you suggest for your area? What would you suggest that they do?
The best way to go about buying?
Yeah, with all the craziness, if they really want to get in something now, they want to get in before the winter, what would you suggest?
Yeah, so I get this question a lot because a lot of people are like, do I buy now? Do I wait? And a lot of it I say is, if you're ready, now is definitely time to buy because interest rates are still very low. Even though pricing has gone up, with rates still relatively low, it still makes a lot of sense. And you just don't know. A year from now, prices may come down, but then rates are high. So get what you can now if you're really wanting to move. But the first thing is you got to have a lot of patience. This market it'll kind of beat you down a little bit just because it's very competitive. And, there's a few times where we've been able to get buyers under contract with an offer on the first shot, but it's just not the name of the game these days. And so, there's definitely a lot of strategies that I put together with my buyers, and so that we can make offers really attractive. But it's a very much a patience. Patience is a virtue, right?
Okay. Yes. So have patience.
Patience is number one, and just you have to have your finances and everything in order. You have to come ready with the documents that you need. And although there are a lot of programs that can assist these days, you really need to have just a lot of your own money to be able to compete, because a lot of sellers are looking for like appraisal gaps, which means that you're willing to cover the difference if an appraisal is less than what the price you and the seller agreed upon. More earnest money deposits, which is kind of your good faith money that you put up at the beginning once you get under contract. I've had even buyers in scenarios where we've been willing to pay some of the seller's closing costs to win a bid. And so,
wow,
yeah.
So y'all gotta get ready to fight. Y'all in Cleveland, get ready to fight. And like she said, if y'all don't do it now while the interest rate is low, you can probably get it for cheaper. But guess what? Your interest rate is gonna be higher, and try refinancing out of that if you want to.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So buy now. If you're in a position to, then now is definitely the time. I mean, when I first started way back in new construction with the builder, rates in 2004, 2005 were like at 6%, 6.5%. And we're like, look at these rates, look how low they are, and rates are 3% and less, like it's like free money. It's free money. So that's also why the market's so crazy, because people realize that and they want to move. A lot of first-time buyers who don't have a house to sell, they're ready to get into being, this homeowner life, and but we need more people to sell.
Yes. What about those people that want to sell in your area? Do you suggest to them, hey, jump on it? And what about the people that want to sell, but they're like, okay, where am I going to stay? What is that type of deal like out there?
Yes. I think now that people are kind of seeing the market and understanding, okay, if I'm ready to move, now is definitely the time to do it, because you're likely going to make a good profit off of your sale. So there's a couple things if you're thinking about selling but concerned about, okay,
there's so many people out there with debt. So much debt, you guys, that they can't even get a car, they can't get a mortgage, they can't even get a credit card. Like, I mean, a $200 credit card. Some people can't even get a secure credit card. So that's why I created my exclusive credit membership, and it's only $1, you guys. So my exclusive credit membership, you guys will actually get the letters to delete bankruptcies, charge off, repossessions, any negative account that you have in your credit reports. I have the letter so you guys can get that deleted. But guess what? Just because you guys are a part of my exclusive membership, you can get all those letters. But say if you don't want to do all that work, I have it so that you guys can get free credit repairs. So that means I will actually start working to help you remove these accounts from your credit reports. And look right here, look all the results that my clients are getting. So definitely remember, you guys can join my exclusive membership for just $1. And I'll have that link down below. Or you guys can text SCORE 21,000 and you guys will have that link. So I'll see you guys in my exclusive membership.
I go next, because it's a legitimate concern. And I think why some people have just decided, hey, I'd rather just stay in my house and fix it up, or, take the equity now that I have, or I can refinance and just make the house more of what I want instead of trying to look for another house. But for those people who really want to move, you got to first determine, do you have to sell before you can buy your next house? That, like, first and foremost, you got to talk to your lender, because you might have to take the proceeds from your sale, or you might have to, you might not be able to carry 2 mortgages if you don't sell right away. Yeah. So that's definitely something to think about. And really the lender is going to determine that. So if your debt to income ratios are fine and they potentially carry 2 mortgages, that's not the goal, but they need to make sure that you can, then we can go ahead. And some people like to buy first, completely move out, and then put their house on the market so that they can get that fixed up and ready to go and then sell. Or for those people who need the money from the sale of their house to move, then we go ahead and list their house first, and we just make it contingent upon the seller buying their next house or finding their next house. And so that means a buyer is willing to maybe have an extended closing or a longer time before we close. And that allows now us to get under contract on the current house. We can find a new house and then close on the old house to get the new house.
Yes, yes, yes. But it can work. It will work out. And
It happens every day. You just have to, it's timing, it's patience again. It's just we make it work.
Okay, perfect. Do y'all have any special programs out there at all? Like down payment assistance, I know you said we really need to have all of our own money in reserves, but for those people that's like, hey, listen, I have this, I want to get some type of assistance, and you willing to be more patient. Remember, you get assistance, you got to be even more patient because it's a game changer. But do you guys have those different programs?
We do. We definitely have down payment assistance programs. There's one for the whole state of Ohio called OFA, the Ohio Financing Housing Authority. Yes, authority. And so within OFA, there are a variety of kind of options. We do have like some heroes programs you and I were talking about before. If you're a firefighter or a police officer or a nurse or a teacher, there's some things that you qualify for. But just one thing to keep in mind, because one thing to keep in mind is these aren't necessarily just for first-time home buyers. I get that a lot of times, like what's out there for first-time home buyers, and I don't know. People came across this notion that there's just automatically something for you just because you're a first-time home buyer. And that's not necessarily true. There were some programs probably right after the market crashed to help people get into homes, but there's nothing just like automatically, you're a first-time home buyer, so you qualify for this. But the programs that are out there, you definitely still need to have your credit together.
What's together?
So 640 or above will get you to where you need. So that's still not like perfect credit. So, you don't, it doesn't have to be perfect, but a lot of times people are like, oh, well, 580 will get me an FHA loan, but that's not going to get you to the down payment assistance. So, and sometimes these programs do still want you to have some of your own money. In addition to the assistance that they're providing. So just keep those things in mind. Some also have income kind of maximum. So unfortunately, a lot of my people make more money than the program allows, and so they don't qualify. But just keep those in mind. These things aren't automatic, but if it makes sense for you, it'll work. And keep in mind too, a lot of times these interest rates are not market rates. They're set rates that are often higher than the market rate. And so you have to really decide, do I really need the extra money and it's going to cost me more over the life of the loan? Does it make sense to take that money if I really don't need it? Because a lot of times people you just
don't need it.
You want extra, like, what can I get, right? And I don't fault you for that. If it's out there, take advantage of it. But you really have to think, does it make sense in the long run? So
that's true. And I tell some of my clients too, if you feel like you need that money and you technically have the money, won't you raise the price of the house and ask for that money and seller credits?
Yes.
And that will help so much, and you will feel it. You will feel it when it comes down to putting money down. Because I see a lot of times one of my clients was going to get a pre-approval with Navy Fed. They actually got pre-approved with them, but their interest rate was like 1.5% higher because they were doing the no money down. And it's like, and then they had to pay a $2,600 fee too, but they were going to put it into the loan, but it's more money that you can just bring.
You think it's free money, but you're paying for it. You are literally paying for it. Some of these loans are even like just like a second mortgage, essentially. Now you have a first and a second mortgage. So you're just, it's not free money.
Most it's not.
Yeah, some programs that are, but no, that strategy I've been using for years because it just makes sense. I always tell people it's better to get money to just, so for every $1,000 you add to the price or take away from the price, you're only changing your monthly payment about $6 or so. And so if you're
one more time,
don't forget, you only need a 580 credit score to buy a home. Some people can go all the way down to a 500 credit score. So all I want you to do is go ahead and click that link for my home buying program, and I'll help you step by step find a mortgage broker or find a bank to actually give you the money to get a loan, and then I'll connect you with one of my partners in the United States. So I don't care where you at. I don't care if you're in Georgia, Texas, Florida, Wisconsin. I don't care where you at. You can even be in Cali. Go ahead and click that link and join my home buying program.
Because I'm like, wait, what?
For every $1,000 increase or decrease of the purchase price, you're only changing your monthly payment about $6 a month.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So people are like, oh man, I don't want to go $10,000 above ask. Well, okay, that's only going to change your payment about $30. So let's go for it. Like if it makes sense. Two allows us to say, hey, my buyer might need closing costs. Maybe you don't need money for down payment or whatnot, but you need it for closing costs. Because a lot of times, especially first-time buyers, they hear, okay, you only need 3.5% down, 3% down, and that's kind of what they save, and then they don't have money for closing costs, which can be another 3 to 5% on top of that. And so sometimes we will increase the price so that we can factor in that ask to the seller and say, hey, we do need $5,000 in closing costs, but we're going to give you $5,000 extra on the sales price, which is really dollar for dollar for the seller, but it's only, again, another $5,000 is, $5,000 is only $30. $10,000 is $60. I did the math wrong, but you get my drift. It's not.
We get it. We get it. Okay, perfect.
Things make sense that way.
I want to start saying that. I got to make sure I give you credit.
Take credit. I learned that a long time ago, but it's true. I mean, it's a good, easy way to think about it. And it really breaks it down for people like, okay, because like I said, when you get to talking $10,000, $20,000, it sounds like, man,
it scares me.
Yeah, but really, I hear people like, oh, that's just a cup of Starbucks. If that's a bag of apples at the grocery store.
Right.
Like, okay, I could do that. No big deal. So
yeah. I like that you're very creative. So no matter what, you guys, when you have a realtor that's knowledgeable like this, like she's teaching me, like, wait, what, you guys? This is perfect. So like, sit back and relax. That's all I can say. Like, sit back and relax.
Yes,
it's crazy. And patience,
especially in this market, because even as agents, like I've been, like I said, in real estate for over 10, 11 years, and I'm seeing things that I've just never seen before. Like, if you told me even 2 years ago that this is what people would be doing, I'd be like, why? And it's exactly what's happening. Like, people are, and again, because the market's just so competitive, we're seeing a lot more cash offers. We're seeing a lot more people willing to waive their appraisal contingency, as I mentioned before. Yeah. And they're saying, hey, even if the appraisal comes in $40,000 short, I will bring $40,000 to the closing table to cover it. Like, people, I don't know, people like,
it's the PPP loans.
Yes, I was watching a video earlier, hilarious. EJ Speaks, she's on Instagram. She does a lot of comedic kind of videos, and she was on there talking about PP prison because all these people come in. But no, a lot of legitimate PPP people out there. So, but yeah, no, people are completely waiving home inspections, which I would have never thought, would happen. I don't see those things happening. And so it's like really, really competitive. But at the same time, you got to think outside the box. You got to come up with different strategies in this market.
Yes, I'm happy that you're knowledgeable about that. You can put them up on game. So y'all just sit back. Because you need the patience. And how much in reserves do you think that certain people should have? Like, especially if they was to do like the special programs where they still want you to have your own money. How much are we talking in reserves?
Sometimes they want to see at least, 2 to 5% of your own money, like the purchase price. And so it just really depends on the program. But they really just want to see, hey, do you have other savings? Do you have other investments? Do you have other assets? Maybe not a home, obviously, if you're kind of a first-time home buyer, but what else do you have? Because if you're telling me all you have to your name is this like $3,000 you saved up, and I'm going to give you $5,000 or $10,000, and then you have nothing left after that, that's not a good look. Like you have no other money outside of that. So yeah, lenders look at that. You have to think about this. This lender is giving you, let's say if you buy a $200,000 house and you're only putting $3,000 of your own money into it, they are on the hook for the majority of this, the purchase. And so they really have to make sure that you can make good on the loan and on the payments every month and not set you up, which I'm happy now that, 2008, that whole, that was what was happening back then. People were getting set up for failure, but lenders are a lot more strict these days. So you really have to come ready.
That's perfect. I am so happy we was able to talk, but listen, this is a question I always have to ask everybody. So every time somebody buys a home, there is a chance that even if you get under contract, something can go wrong. Like anything can go wrong, whether you did it or somebody else done it. Something can go wrong. So tell us a situation where you got a buyer, y'all under contract, you about to buy a house. Well, they're about to buy the house, but something goes wrong and you come in and fix the problem and save the day. Tell us about that special time.
Okay, so yeah, I really want to let people know that because so many people watch like HGTV and House Hunters, and it's like, okay, we see 3 houses, I pick the 3, and suddenly we're in our living room loving our new house, and like you don't see all the stuff in between. And you know, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of people involved. But one really crazy thing that happened a few months ago that have never happened before was I was representing the buyer. They were buying their first home, really excited. We got under contract. I think we only had to go like maybe 10 grand over ask. And we did a full home inspection, so didn't waive home inspection, didn't do appraisal contingencies, nothing like that. But, you know, we were able to get under contract. We went through the appraisal, came back actually $1,000 over what we paid. So like that, you know,
Yes.
that's wonderful, right? So now they've got a little bit of equity in the house before they even start. And we are like 6 days before closing, out from closing. And I get an email from the lender. And the lender said that the bank was reviewing the appraisal, and it had some red flags on it. And so the bank went ahead and did their own independent appraisal on the property and came back with their own appraisal. So we went from $1,000 over the purchase price for the first appraisal to their independent appraisal that came in $25,000 under our purchase price.
Oh my gosh, I would have died.
Days before closing, $25,000. So we're like, what is happening? We just had an appraisal. We thought we were good. Everything is good. And now we are $25,000 under because another appraiser said different. And yeah, so now we're like, now what happens? The seller's like, well, maybe we'll like meet you in the middle and we'll split the difference, which essentially means that they were willing to lower the purchase price by like 12.5, or yeah, that's the half. But then that meant my buyer would have to now bring another $12,500 of their own money to the table to make up the difference. And now there would still be, the value of the home would still be less than that because, you know, now they're paying. So yeah, so we were $25,000 short when we thought we were actually up. And, you know, the seller was really pushing for us to come to the table with more money, to do all kinds of different things. And we just flat out said no.
Oh my gosh, you guys, look at these results that one of my clients got just from opening a self account. Now this self account is amazing. So I have this account also. I paid $48 per month, and then after a year they send me all my money back. But you know the best part, I'm saving money, and then they're reporting to the credit bureaus, all 3 credit bureaus, every month that I'm paying on time, which is really boosting my credit score, you guys. So definitely, if you don't have a self account right now, it's an installment account, your credit score is really low, get that self account. You're going to be so happy that you did it.
The appraisal is what the appraisal is. Unfortunately, we can't change it, and neither can you. And so it was a lot of back and forth. We had to renegotiate a few things that the seller initially had offered us, but in the end, we were able to get them to lower the price. And we closed, but it was
saved the day.
Wild. It was really wild. I never had that happen before. And it just kind of goes to show again, like this market is really crazy. but in a sense that it was nice to see some of the checks and balances, because I think a lot of people are like, this market is going sky high, and we're just going to be in this bubble again. But, you know, a lot of these appraisals are still kind of creating those checks and balances that we need in the market. So
and that's perfect, but that's still good. So that means technically they at a lower price.
Yes. So yeah, and homes were still selling above that price that they ended up buying. So I mean, it really actually worked out really well.
It did on your end.
Yeah,
Not
so much. Not so much.
That is a good story.
We're gonna have another 25,000 from a sale, and that's just But
that's a good story. I like that. I really like that, because that's a win-win for the buyer. Because you go through all that headache to find out that they're going to just lower the price. Y'all got to switch some stuff around, but you're going to end up winning in the end. So that's good.
For sure.
You couldn't fight that appraisal?
Oh, we tried, but they pointed out, they were like, oh, well, we don't know where the original appraiser used these comps that were outside of here. So I don't know if you've ever had to find an appraisal before. I've had a few of those and it's very difficult to get an appraiser to change their mind, especially in this case, because it was like the bank's own independent like appraisal. It was kind of like they weren't hearing it. So
yeah, I have one.
But it really didn't benefit. I mean, I shouldn't have, it was the seller just listing
it,
fighting for it. But you had one, you said?
I had one that was 60,000 under, and they had to walk away. But it was still like, all right, you gotta walk away.
Yeah, and no appraisal gaps or anything.
No, just
walk away. Because it's like, and I've had like when I had to do like an FHA buyer, and the rule is if you have a house that is kind of technically flipped, so you purchase it and then you sell it again within, I think it's like 90 days. If you sell to an FHA buyer in that 90-day period, they have to get 2 appraisals.
Yep.
And I had, this happened a couple months ago, where those 2 appraisals were like $15,000 apart. And so it was, again, like you have 2 people who looked at the same house, because again, appraisals are subjective, a matter of opinion. That is literally what they are. Yeah. But now it's like, well, what makes this one better than this one? And they always go with the lower one. But yeah,
I have to happen.
Yeah, have you?
Yes, but that one, in that instance, that was my buyer that did a USDA loan, no money down. He came to the table with $69, which was amazing. That was all his down payment was. And the property was $40,000 over. And the seller kept asking, what was it appraised at? Because they had to pay for that second appraisal. Pay for it. And what was it appraised at? What was it appraised at? I'm like, we are not going to talk about that. Let's hurry and get this closed. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Yes. So if a property come over, you guys, if it's over the listing price, especially like that, 40,000, it was before the chaos though. But
okay.
Y'all don't say nothing. Just be quiet. I only bring up problems.
Yeah, exactly. Let's keep it moving. Yeah.
Yes, check it all out. I am so happy you were able to come onto my podcast. I look forward to you helping all the clients be able to get a house out there. I'm so excited.
No, thank you for the platform and like really introducing the world to just different opportunities and people and making those connections. That's
yes. We all need to be connected in some way, especially people that just don't know what's going on. Right. I haven't really seen anything like this where you hear all the realtors talk about their different areas. I haven't seen it, especially in one spot. So you can go pick and choose where I'm at and find your realtor.
I love it. A great resource.
Yeah, so she'll definitely be back on because I heard that she's expanding to different places. So I definitely have to bring her back on, you guys. So definitely look out for that. So if you guys ever have any questions, definitely let me know. And where can they find you?
Yes, I am on social media at Realtor Angela Thompson. And so mainly Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, a little bit of TikTok. But yeah, mainly on Instagram.
Okay, perfect. I'll make sure I have that all in the description, you guys. But thank you so much for watching this episode. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye, everyone. Bye bye.
There's so many people out there with debt, so much debt, you guys, that they can't even get a car, they can't get a mortgage, they can't even get a credit card. Like, I mean, a $200 credit card. Some people can't even get a secure credit card. So that's why I created my exclusive credit membership, and it's only $1, you guys. So my exclusive credit membership, you guys will actually get the letters to delete bankruptcies, charge off, repossessions, any negative account that you have in your credit reports. I have the letter so you guys can get that deleted. But guess what? Just because you guys are a part of my exclusive membership, you can get all those letters. But say if you don't want to do all that work, I have it so that you guys can get free credit repair. So that means I will actually start working to help you remove these accounts from your credit reports. And look right here, look all the results that my clients are getting. So definitely remember, you guys can join my exclusive membership for just $1. And I'll have that link down below. Or you guys can text SCORE 21,000 and you guys will have that link. So I'll see you guys in my exclusive membership.